Hello friends, today this session will deals with the another principle, insurable interest. Any insurance contract, whenever you want to take insurance coverage for your subject matter, for your life, the prominent issue which is influencing on the decisions of the insurer is insurable interest. What is insurable interest? It is the interest of an individual on the subject matter to protect or create safety for the subject matter or the life which is to be insured. Without insurable interest, that contract becomes a mere wager. If you want to consider that insurance is a valid, there must be insurable interest. It is not. The insurable interest is what is existing in the what is a property to be insured. Insurance is not given on the subject matter. Insurance is given on the interest of an individual on the subject matter. I repeat, insurance is given not on the subject matter, life or the property. It is not that. It is the insurance coverage given on the insurable interest of an individual on the life or the property. Yes, let us look into the definition. You can look into the definition. A legal right to insure arising out of financial relationship recognized under the law between the insured and the subject matter of insurance. So, it is a legal right will arise when you have a relationship with the subject matter. So, insurance is given on the legal right of an individual over the subject matter. When it will arise? When there is a relationship between individual and the subject matter or the life. So, how to establish the relationship? Relationship is are considered, because relationship today we can define many ways. Friends, I have relationship, but do I have insurable interest? It is a matter of question, because I can't establish any blood relationship. So, in order to establish insurable interest, there must be legal evidences which proves the relationship in individual in terms of financial, in terms of blood relationship. And whatever the relationship, that must be recognized under the law. If the relationship is recognized and considered as valid, which can be used for the contract, then it is considered as insurable interest. Insurable interest components. There must be some property, right or interest, life or limb or property liability capable of being insured. So, what is that? There must be property. If there is a property, we can consider, we can assess, is there any relationship? Is there any legal relationship between individual and the property? There should be a life. If there is a life, husband and a wife, there is a relationship that is recognized under law. Son and father, there is a relationship recognized under law. And vehicle, if I take motor vehicle, is there a relationship? Yes, definitely there will be relationship if you own the property. The ownership is recognized under law. So, then I can say there is a insurable interest. Okay, got it. So, with that matter, so relationship between insured and subject matter must be recognized by law. These are all the aspects. There must be property, and that must be a subject matter. Property must be the subject matter of insurance, and the property and the subject matter, whatever you call, there must be legal relationship that must be recognized by law. So, these are all components. Next, insured must stand in formal or legal relationship. That is it. Okay, these are all aspects I have already mentioned. But question is here, what is that insurable interest? Is the interest represents in the form of happiness or well-being from the betterment and safety of the subject matter, or the damage or the loss of the subject matter? Insurable interest exists when you feel the safety of the property is more beneficial than loss of property. I hope this is clear. Insurable interest will represents in the form of the intention to protect the property rather than the loss of property. Have it? So, I take insurance for my bike, and just because of insurance, do I damage my property or vehicle? Do I show interest to take benefit of insurance contract? No. Each and every, even small scratch if it's what is a made in the vehicle, I will feel very sad, that is insurable interest. If something happens to my hand, I will be very worried, that is insurable interest. If something happens to my son, a small fever, I will take lot of tension, that is insurable interest. I never act what is a erratically, or I never act like without having any concern for son. If my son is suffering, I will say let it go, let it die. I will never say, because I have insurable interest. My wife, I will take care of her because she is my life partner, I will take care of her, isn't it? So that is insurable interest. I have a building, I never ever allow anybody to damage my property. I have a bank, I place security, I place CCTV, I place siren and all facility. Why? In order to protect my properties. This is insurable interest, and I never think that it should be damaged. Somebody should take my properties, somebody should harm my property, and while driving also I will take much care to avoid some possibilities of accident, because that is insurable interest. I hope this concept is clear. Creation and restriction of insurable interest. How to create insurable interest, or how to establish insurable interest? First one is common law. Husband and wife relationship is a common law. There is a relationship. Ownership of a building, there is a legal established relationship between me and my building, common law it says. Or my life, it's as a common aspect that definitely insurable interest, whoever more than anybody, I have insurable interest. It's a common law, I say, okay, that can be established. So insurable interest towards my family members, through a law I can establish relationship. On the property I can establish relationship through a law, maybe ownership license or a registration book or whatever the documents, we can use it to establish relationship. Through the contracts, I owe a building, I take for a lease, that's best example I feel. Contract, I take a building for my business activity on lease. Now I have insurable interest, because after the completion of lease period I have to hand over my property to the real owner. So in order to protect that property, I will take all actions, prevent from the all losses. So that is contract. Then statute, my constitution itself will give certain rights and interest. So through these aspects I can establish insurable interest. Examples: mortgagee and mortgager relationship. I am in need of financial assistance, or I need on 10,000 rupees. What to do? I have no other options. I take my jewel and I'll pledge with the banker. I will become a mortgager. Definitely I have insurable interest on my property. As well as when I submit my property to the banker, the interest will be transferred to the banker as the mortgagee, because till then when I repay all the loan amount and take back my jewel, the responsibility will be held with the banker, mortgagee. So he is having insurable interest. Till then I take back my jewel, he has to take care of my property. He has insurable interest. He can take insurance. Bailey, a person or a party to whom goods are delivered for a purpose. For example, vehicle workshop. I deliver my vehicle for the service. Now he is a bailey. He has the responsibility to protect the property. I give my watch for watch repairer to a watch repairer. He has the responsibility to protect it. He has insurable interest. Trustees, sometimes in case of minor individual, his property will be handled by somebody else, appointed by the court or somebody else, and in that cases he is a trustee. He has insurable interest to protect the property, so he can take insurance. Partnership, X and Y, both are partners and both the people have insurable interest on their life, right? X, if something happened to X, Y will suffer loss. If Y suffer loss, or something happens to Y, X will suffer, right? Husband and wife, there is unlimited insurable interest. We can't define it. Creditors, definitely whoever lend money, who has insurable interest on the borrower. So that is example. Let us look into the insurable. When should insurable interest exist? In case of life insurance, insurable interest must exist at the time of taking the policy. or the inception of the policy. When in case of life insurance, insurable interest must exist at the time of inception of the contract. In case of marine insurance, insurable interest must exist at the time of loss. If you study further marine insurance, you will get to know, you will understand what is that, because sometimes importer will take insurance, sometimes exporter will take insurance. So if exporter take insurance, he has to take care of the property from his point of delivery to the importer's point of delivery, destination. Sometimes importer will take insurance, then he has to take care of his property from the destination of the exporter itself. Then at the time of loss, who is having insurable interest, who is having ownership, he will be considered as having insurable interest. In property and other insurance, at the time of inception as well as at the time of loss, in both the time there should be insurable interest. Yes, I hope the issues what we discussed regarding insurable interest is much better and all of you understood, and thank you very much. Let us continue the further discussion on principle of causa proxima in the next session. Thank you very much.